back with another film review, and today I'm reviewing Shin Godzilla. This film is so fucking peak. Like, how did I even come across this film? So I was watching the Netflix Godzilla, and Netflix Godzilla is kind of ass to me. I tried watching the series a couple times, but you have like a fucking hour of nothingness, and then Godzilla shows up. So it's like, what's going on? But Shin Godzilla is a political drama, in a sense that yes, the Godzilla appears and he's taking over the world, no, taking over Japan and invading, but it shows the political side aspect of it. It was like, okay, like, hey, who needs to get approval to do what? What parties are involved? How do they go about it? And I really appreciate that because it's like, yes, you get like the big kaiju, you get the fights and all this other shit, but it's like, what is the thought process behind that? Who are the factors that at play? And so with that, it made it a little bit more grounded. It gave it characters that I did care about, and it's like, okay, how are they navigating this? Because like at every turn there's a hurdle, and like, okay, this wouldn't happen, this would happen. Who would they answer to? And it answers a lot of those questions that I think a lot of films, or at least kaiju films, just doesn't answer, right? All you see is like people just wandering around with their dick in their hand for like 2 hours or an hour and a half, and then it's like, okay, yeah, so didn't beat Godzilla. Godzilla ultimately just take himself out, or he just gets tired and he goes back home. But this one is like, okay, we have a plan and they execute. And it's amazing. And then also the design of it, like the first time where in Godzilla in this film, and he shows like his atomic breath and like the lead up and the build to it, it's like, damn, like if you told me like as far as like Godzilla like doing shit, I wouldn't be surprised if he's only in that film probably like 20 minutes tops. But the looming threat in like that 20 minutes, it's like it's spread throughout in such a way that it doesn't really feel like it. And it's so captivating. I think it's actually one of the better Godzilla films. I wouldn't say my best, because I have to rewatch a couple of them. I'm really not a fan of the American Godzilla films. When I'm talking about like Godzilla in the World, Godzilla 2014, Godzilla 2000, Godzilla versus Kong, all of those, because like they have human scenes and characters that I give zero shits about. I only want to see the kaiju fights. But I will say, Godzilla vs King Kong, them motherfuckers were boxing for real. Like that shit was kind of tight. But that aside, like this is beautiful, from the creature design to the special effects to the character that we follow to like the prime minister to everybody. Like, okay, how they're conveying the phone calls and the stress and like the positions between like different parties, and it can easily get complicated and lost in the sauce, and it's like, oh my gosh, what the fuck is going on? Because it's like there's so many actors that play, but I think they did a good job of doing is having these beatings, having tension and grouse in that, and making this film even a little bit larger than life. Also, the score is amazing. Yes, it does have that classic Godzilla theme, which is phenomenal. Like if the formula's not broke, don't fix it. I know Americans like to do this thing where like they do like a spin on the old song, and they do that because for the new film they can get more money out of the music and production when people do search it up instead of looking up the old song. But like this one has that iconic score, but then also during like the talking scenes and stuff, like the sound design is beautiful. Godzilla, from the roar to like the air siphoning and the gas and the filling in of it, and the amount of destruction and the gravitas of that. And I think it did a pretty good job of conveying his size, because it can usually get lost in the sauce, and sometimes you can feel like, oh, this thing isn't really as big, or oh, it's just a creature the size of a building. But no, like this thing was larger than life, and I thoroughly enjoy watching this film. It's like, damn, I need to get on 4K. I don't have money yet, but I added it to my wish list, and I added Godzilla -1. I'm going to see the black and white version of that film again. I've seen that film before, but I've never done a review for that film. So it would be nice to rewatch that film, to do a review of it, to talk about it. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the Shin Godzilla. Again, a phenomenal film. If you have not watched it, watch it now. But again, it doesn't really focus mostly on like the kaiju. It does focus entirely on Godzilla. Every dialogue, every sentence, every other sentence, is focusing on Godzilla. What we're gonna do about him, right? But it's not to the point of like, nah. It's like he's a looming threat. He's in every scene. He's talked about everything, right? But you spend a lot of the time talking about the politics surrounding, or Japanese politics and international politics surrounding Godzilla and handling this issue. And that's something that keeps me intrigued, you know. I watched this film over the course of 2 days, 1.5 at night, 1 in the morning, and I didn't even want to leave the screen because I was so fucking invested in this film. But have you seen Shin Godzilla? What are your thoughts? Comment down below, subscribe, and as always, Haritos on me. Ciao.